Hey, limitless beings. Sky Hanley here, alignment coach and business mentor. I'm bringing another amazing video to you. This one regarding, air quotes, I have the right to change my mind. All right, or I give myself permission to change my mind. Now, look, if you are new to our YouTube channel, please, YouTube channel, did I say that? Sure, why not? Please hit the like and subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all the most amazing videos that we're putting out. Now, let's jump into this juicy topic today. And now, why I actually want to bring this one up, like I find it so fascinating, right? Obviously being a business mentor, don't mind me just fixing something there. Ta-da! Look, obviously being a business mentor, an alignment coach, constantly working with businesses, to help them up level their systems, their strategies, as well as, their mindsets, the way in which they show up in the world, their integrity, their morals, their vision, their mission, all these different amazing things. Hell yes to all of that, right? What I do see come up quite a lot is sort of where we brush against this sort of world of, our edges, our comfort zones and things like that. And that can show up in so many different ways. It can be beliefs, it can be mindsets, it can be behaviors. They are all amazing topics all on their own, right? But one of those edges for a lot of people is somehow, or a lot of business owners, is somehow believing that, that business is fixed, or that it should be done a particular way, or that, somehow we don't have permission to change our minds, right? And the amazing thing about business, right? And let me just preface this by saying, I am not talking about moving through business or life or this world or whatever without integrity. Alrighty? Like we've all probably, felt the sting of working with somebody that doesn't maybe have the most aligned integrity to where we perceive ourselves to be at, let's say, or what we would hold as a standard, right? And look, all of that is perception and things like that. That is a conversation for another day. But what I want to say is that, we're not talking about that kind of thing. Obviously, like all of you are amazing or you wouldn't be here. So obviously, I trust that you are running your business with integrity, right? That you are, providing a service aligned to that which you are selling, as in you sell, a particular outcome or product or program or whatever it might be. And then, within that framework, you are doing all that you can for that, for your clients and the desired outcome thereafter. I trust that. I know that you're here because you are, a human of integrity. So I do just want to put that there and say we are not talking about bending the rules or not aligning with, missed client promises. Does that make sense? So that's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is that, your business is your business, right? Like you have created this amazing entity all of its own, right? Like it literally, has a soul. It's amazing. You're amazing for creating it. And sometimes on the odd occasion, something might not feel within alignment anymore. All right. And it might be a way in which that you're doing something or how much you're showing up in a particular way. Maybe you're running something and it's actually not landing with the tribe anymore. So, but you said that you would do it a particular way. And so now you have to, you must. What if you're well overspent, right? Like so busy, hustle out of your mind that you're actually not even showing up for your clients, as the most fully aligned human as you possibly could be. Do you think it is in your clients, their best interest to have you, relaxed and well rested and, and shining bright? Or do you think that you've worked out that you've overpromised or that, you're super busy or life has happened, something has come up, you are allowed to change your mind. You have permission to pivot and adjust. All right. And now let me talk about how that might show up. So I can actually give you an example from my own existence right now. And this is one that I see a lot in business as well, right? Like really, really interesting. New program kicking off, and set date. And then maybe something arises or something changes and we sort of go, ooh, I could use a little more time, or maybe we could push back a week. But somehow we've put ourselves into this mind box prison or whatever that says, no, I said that I would start on that particular date, so now I have to, all these people are relying on me to start on that particular date, right? But I'm not prepared, or I'm not ready, or it feels misaligned, or something else has come up, or I just would like to XYZ, right? Like there are reasons we can justify. But the funny thing is, you know, within reason, there doesn't necessarily have to be some big, you know, extra external, justification. You have full permission to change your mind, to pivot and to adjust. And again, being people of integrity, I know that you would only ever be thinking about that in terms of, you know, showing up in a far better way, right? Like, and for me, you know, what I recognized recently was that that out there in the collective, there was a lot of busyness and hustle right now, right? And so I thought, oh my goodness, you know, like there's a lot of busyness, a lot of hustle. Some people are a little bit switched off, as in I can tell that, you know, there's a lot going on. Full disclosure of when this is being recorded, that it's school holidays. So a lot of parents are still, face down in getting kids back to school and all the different bits and pieces. And I thought, oh my gosh, does it serve to start this program now, or should I push it back just a little bit longer, you know, to give my clients time to settle back into normality and life again, so that they too can show up in a far more empowered fashion, ready to soak in the knowledge and the lessons of, you know, of the course, right? And I thought, yeah, I'm totally cool with that, right? Because I reserve the right to change my mind. I picked a date, and then I felt into the greater collective, and I thought, this no longer feels aligned. You know, I can feel what my clients are going through, and I can see what's happening out there in the collective. And so I choose to change my mind, pivot and adapt. All right. And it's so important within business that we are open to that, right? Like the only person that's sort of putting you into, you know, a box or a prison is sometimes ourselves and our own minds, right? So with that, you know, you're allowed to break the rules. You can pivot, you can adapt. You know, who set the rules anyway? Right? And again, I see this come up a lot, you know, with my clients, you know, and it might be something like a price change. It might be something like, you know, a start date. It might be something like even a finish day of a program, right? I've seen so many clients, you know, run maybe an 8-week or a 12-week program, and it's not feeling aligned within the community anymore, and maybe like the session provider, what is that? The person who is running the course, right? The business owner is feeling really burnt out. And, you know, and maybe there weren't as many boundaries in place. Maybe, you know, clients were allowed to contact them in a million different ways. And so it's just data all the time. And so they're starting to feel overwhelmed. It is okay to change your mind and say, hey guys, I'm actually going to be only available each day between this time and this time. And this is the one single way to contact me if you would like a response. I reserve the right to change my mind, right? You are allowed to pivot and adapt. It is actually an essential part of business, right? The more you can pivot and adapt, the more you can see, you know, like within the collective, what's coming up, what adjustments might need to be made that both suits you, because what suits you also suits the collective, right? Also suits your clients, also suits your tribe. And so it's so important that you release yourself from the rule prison that you have put yourself in. And look, you'll know when this is coming up for you, I hope, after you've watched this video, right? Because it might not be coming up for you right now. And maybe in hindsight, you can look back now and go, oh my gosh, actually there was a situation where I probably should have pivoted and adapted, and I didn't at the time. And now in hindsight, you know, as I move forward through business, I can see that, you know, it's actually good business practice to pivot and adapt when it is needed. I reserve the right to change my mind. And I promise you, you know, your clients will be understanding. You know, if I put it forward, obviously, like me changing a date recently and saying, no, I'm actually going to start it a little bit later. You know, I'm going to do an announcement video. I'm going to let everybody know and I'm going to tell them why. And the why is for them. Don't you think clients will be happy with that? They're like, oh my God, thank God, you know, you're pushing back. That definitely suits me a lot better, right? Like, and so you are able to bend like that, but also remember that so many of your clients are really happy for you to be human too. So if, you know, you don't have to bend that you're doing it for them. If, you know, there is a reason that you're like, hi, you guys, look, you know, I really want to make sure that I'm providing the best content possible. This means I actually have to move the date of XYZ from here to here. I am truly sorry that, that this is happening. Just be gracious. It's totally fine, right? I'm really sorry that this is happening, but I want to make sure that I'm showing up as my best, my best self, again, to serve you. So I ask for this switch and I hope that that is okay with everyone, and please let me know if it's not and we'll work something out for you. It's as simple as doing something like that. Again, it's going to depend on the situation and the circumstance, but just keep reminding yourself, right, that the only person who is putting you in the rule prison is you. I reserve the right to change my mind. I reserve the right to change my mind. It's so important that that you sit with that, all right? And that you start recognizing situations that could really benefit from your pivoting and adapting. And part of benefit also includes you looking after your own light force energy. Because if you are burnt out, stressed out, and overwhelmed, then you are never going to show up as your best self, trying to facilitate so many client promises that, being too much of a yes person or not having any boundaries. Clear is kind, unclear is unkind. So putting boundaries in place, letting clients know when to contact you, when not to contact you, changing the date on something because if it serves you, it often serves the collective as well, or sometimes you just do it to serve the collective. I reserve the right to change my mind. All right, you guys, let me know what you think. And obviously join the conversation over in our Facebook community group, Soul Empire Unleashed. I reserve the right to change my mind. Love you guys. Bye.